So today is June 19, 2022. I'm so glad we have both Grace and Elizabeth here. We'll start our 2022 summer kickoff meeting today. And first, I want to let you know we do have a lot of participants. There's 15 participants who are in our webinar. They will participate a little bit later on. So today's topic is we want both of you, our current students and the graduates. First, we want to congratulate you for your hard work, and you have got into very good university. So Grace Wang has got into UPenn, and Elizabeth got into UCLA. And we also have another student, Michelle. She's on vacation. She cannot be here, but she gave some recordings. So later on, I'll play with a little bit about me for people who doesn't know me. And I'm Dr. Sherry Hu. I'm the founder and the operational director of Beyond Academy College Planning Services. And I'm also the council member of the City of Dublin. And that's my hope, to help everybody to prepare for the college, both for parents and for the students. So with that said, first I want to give a little bit about our plan for today. So the plan on my screen, it shows here. So we'll kick off the meeting, and then we'll have a Grace to give a presentation on how she did her own college plan. And then we'll get Elizabeth to talk about that. Elizabeth, if you don't have a slide, you don't have to have a slide. Just talk about your college preparation process. What are the tips you want to share with the students? And then I'll just play a little bit of recording from Michelle, and we'll get both of you will get awards from us. We want to celebrate that with everybody, and then the audience are free to give questions. You will help to answer those things. So with that said, I'll stop my sharing on my side. And Grace, you can go ahead to share your screen and start your talk.
Okay, so hi, I'm Grace, and today I hope to share with you guys about my experience with the college application process, with like extracurriculars, academics, volunteering, and also provide some tips that I've learned along the way to help people who are preparing to apply to college. So first about me, well, I'm a senior. I was a senior, but this fall I'm attending the University of Pennsylvania. I'll be pursuing a major that combines health sciences, public policy, and economics, and potentially minoring in healthcare management at Wharton. In high school, I was involved in debate, art, and I was also a summer researcher at UT Southwestern, and I was also the co-founder and co-president of a club at my school. So starting right off, I want to talk about the components of the application that I believe are the most important. So obviously the goal of your application is to tell your story to college admissions officers, and the important components of the application, first and foremost, would be your extracurriculars and leadership. And this also encompasses things like community service, summer activities, summer programs, or any jobs or internships you've participated in. And how you go about telling your story is through your essays, which is probably the most important part, in my opinion, of your application. And also your numbers, which are like your SAT, ACT, GPA rank, and your course rigor. And finally, your recommendation letters are also very important to have credibility from your teachers or your mentors. So breaking down each part of the pie, first is extracurriculars. So how to go about finding them. So I think that the best way is to kind of think about what your academic interests are. So for me, I knew that I was interested in a mix of things. So I was interested in health and STEM, but I was also interested in public policy and policy making and maybe even pre-law. So I was participating in debate and model UN in high school. So kind of like if you're interested in like the law or politics, debate or model UN, or even student government, which is what I was also participating in a few years of high school. If you're interested in STEM, I would say maybe participate in science fair or lab research. I participated in lab research. Or like if you're interested in computer science, maybe robotics. Or if you're interested in pre-med, you could participate in HOSA or some kind of pre-med organization. If you're interested in business, a lot of people I know have started their own businesses or they participated in BPA. And also fine arts may be a good addition for me. I kind of picked up art throughout high school, and I was in AP art and then did art nationally. Next, I would recommend participating in a lot of leadership opportunities. So for me, I started my own club, and I also wrote in my local newspaper. So those are the kind of examples that colleges value a lot. And then finally, I put start your own blank because that's always really interesting, whether it be like starting your own business, starting your own club, starting your own organization, nonprofit. So starting your own blank can kind of show to colleges that you're proactive. And next are your awards and honors. So these kind of add prestige to your application and try to put down state or national awards. And then here I put like a list of good activities you can get awards from. And then community. So colleges also value community service. So I participated in a lot of nonprofit work and also some tutoring, and I did debate. So I did end up doing debate coaching and coaching some different camps for kids. So as far as advice I have for 9th through 11th graders, I would say first is to find your passion, and colleges can really tell when you love what you do. Second is to be proactive. So try to find these opportunities and don't wait for these opportunities to come to you. And finally is to not go for everything and try to focus on a few activities that support your passion and your career aspirations instead of trying to participate in every single club. Advice that I have for rising seniors is obviously begin applications early. I started around June of my junior year. Next is to always remember that your application should be persuasive instead of informative. It should try to show admissions officers that they might be missing out if they don't add or accept you in. And then the third piece of advice I have is that essays are very important. So spend a lot of time on revising your essays. Like I feel like essays are really kind of underrated when it comes to college applications. So definitely make sure that your Common App specifically is really good so that because that's the essay that you're going to be submitting to all the colleges. So yeah, that's all I have. So I hope that helped, and I wish that all the juniors who are applying to college next year the best of luck. And I'm open to answering any questions after this.
Thank you, Grace. And there's a lot of useful tips. And let's get Elizabeth to kind of talk a little bit about the tips, advice you want to share with junior high schoolers.
Okay, so basically for me, the whole college process, it's very similar to what Grace said. She like outlined everything. So I'll just give more like specific tips on like how to manage your time with like that writing process. So for juniors, this summer is very important to get a huge head start on your college apps because once school starts, you're not going to have as much time and you're going to have to balance college apps along with your senior classes. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will take a lot of AP classes in senior year too. So I would get started on making your college list. And for your college list, the best way to make a college list is through a spreadsheet. And you can like search these up online, but you basically make a spreadsheet which outlines which colleges you want to apply to and like what their ranking is in terms of like what you think you'll get into, like your reach schools, your target schools, your safety schools, and you make sure you have like a good balance of all of them. And then right after that, you need to start outlining what you want to write about. So at this point, you should have finished all of like your extracurriculars, or not like finished, like you already know what you've done. You shouldn't be like scrambling to do things, hopefully. Like you already have enough extracurriculars to put on your application by like this summer if you're a junior. So you should know what you want to like focus your applications around and what you want to write about. So like you would need to start brainstorming ideas on like your essays, and you have to like look at prompts. A lot of schools have different prompts, and there's also the huge personal statement, which is 650 words of like whatever you want basically. And then for the UC application, there is like 4 different prompts, or there's 8 different prompts and you choose 4, which is kind of nice because you can like focus on which prompts you think you can answer the best. So first off, I would try to get your personal statement written on like something that's like you care about, that you're passionate about. If you write about things that you don't care about, it's not going to be good. And then try to get your UCs done, because UC is just 4 essays and that's like the whole application for the essay part. But then for Common App, there's like a bunch of other prompts. So I would say for the summer, tackle those 2 and then start on like the other prompts. And like, I think the most important part is to like set goals. Like you can be like, this week, I want to get this done. You need to set goals, or else you're going to get lost, and you're going to, if you wait to do everything last minute, you're going to be stuck like working on finals for like your senior classes as well as college apps, and that's not going to go well.
That's very useful tips for the time management. I know it's always a challenge, no matter it's for your high schoolers or it's for our adults. It's the same challenge. So thanks for sharing that. And I will just share screen with a little bit recording from Nixiao, so you can get a piece of advice from her. And basically, she has been with our program for the longest time, like 4 years. And she's also the co-president for the nonprofit organization we call it ABLE, Above Beyond Leadership Program. So she has done a lot of work. She was admitted by UC Berkeley. That's a really honor to be there. So just share a little bit here. Share sound. Hi, Nixiao. Congratulations.
Thank
I know
you.
you are going to Berkeley. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about how many schools have accepted you and how you decided.
So I got accepted by most of the UCs except for 2. And then since Berkeley was the highest ranked, of course, my parents were really like that school because of its academic reputation. And since I'm going into English, then they wanted me to choose a good college because that way the rankings can help me no matter where I go in life. And since English isn't as prevalent right now as STEM majors, so that's why they would really wanted me to go to Berkeley. And
Okay, so we'll just stop a little bit here. So that's from Nixiao, and she also talked about her college essay advice. I say, let me see if I can get to there. It's 9:55, about 9:55. College to apply. They probably review your college applications for you. So what's your experiences like?
So I got help with I know my parents got help with the financial aid counselor. And then for me, the merit scholarship counselor was helpful because that way I could figure out which ones to apply to, and then keep track of the deadlines and look into websites that I could explore further. And then for my college counselor specifically, we had like a few calls over the course of the years. Like I think we had about 1 call a year. And then it was really helpful having the I think it's post high school decisions applications tracker spreadsheet. So my counselor had it be due by June 15th, if I remember correctly. So then I knew which colleges I wanted to apply to, and then generally what information, like what's their general SAT, ACT range, and then where is the application link, when the applications come out. That was helpful because I got it done early, and I feel like without a counselor, I might not have gotten it all done then. And as for the college essays itself, I did send mine to her, but I also sent it to a lot of people. So I think it's good to get a lot of people to look it over, like both people with experience and also your friends and family who know you well. And then that way they can make comments and see if that's showing the right aspects of yourself and like making small edits or changes or seeing if it makes sense overall. Because since I like creative writing, I think I tried to write my essays a little creatively. And then other people told me that sometimes it meant the message got lost or it was unclear. So it had to be more concrete and focused on what impact I made on others in the world and like defining my own experiences and like leadership and sticking to the prompt.
Wow. Okay, so that's a part of sharing from her, and then we will start this panel discussions. So how we do panel discussions is we will ask questions. I have prepared some questions for them. They haven't seen those questions, but I will just ask them. And at the same time, our audience, if you have any questions, you can use the chat. We have a chat here, and then you send to me your questions, and we'll choose the questions to have them to answer. Okay, so for the students, if you really want to ask them live, you can also send information to the chat. We can let you into the meeting room, so you can have a conversation with them. Okay, we can invite you to the meeting room too. So with that, I'll start my sharing. We'll just start my question here. So either of you or both of you can answer any questions. Okay, so first I want to say a little bit about your self-introduction, because I know I haven't talked about this, but Grace, you are from Texas, right? Elizabeth, you are in California, Northern California, San Diego area. Oh, not San Diego, San Francisco area, sorry for that. And I want to ask you is, what has other colleges you have received admissions and how you decided to go to this college?
Well, I did ED, which is early decision. So you basically have to like cancel every other application. So, yeah, I basically before like December 16th, I received admission to UT Austin. And after that, I had to cancel all of my regular decision applications. So I'm not sure what other colleges I would have gotten into.
How about you, Elizabeth?
So the best like colleges I got into was UCLA, NYU, and UVA, which are all like top 30-ish ranking. And then I got into like the rest of the UCs I applied to, except UC Berkeley. I got waitlisted.
How you decided on UCLA?
Like for me, it's like the best like vibe wise, like it has the most diversity, the best food, the best opportunities, and it's also ranked the highest.
Awesome, thank you. So another question I have here is, what's the timeline for your college applications? Like I heard from your talk, you started early, you started like in the summer. So how much you have got done in the summer? And what's the work in the fall, and which month you finished everything? How was that the situation when you have to do your schoolwork and at the same time you have to do your college applications? Grace, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, I started my college apps around like June and July of the summer of last year, and then I finished my Common App before school started. I think I finished my ED around August, late August, and then I just tried to submit most of my schools by Christmas. But I don't think I got too much work done around December because of finals. And for time management, I just tried to spend at least 1 to 2 hours every day on college apps and finish like my schoolwork quickly.
Elizabeth?
Okay, so for me, I actually didn't do very well in time management. Like I did not get enough done in the summer, so I was like scrambling like towards the due date. I did finish like a week, like a couple days before like each due date though, so that was fine. But my winter break was very crammed with college apps, which was like okay, but I I would have much rather have finished it in the summer. So I would say try to get like, as I said before, your personal statement and your UCs done by the end of the summer at the very least.
Okay, thank you. So what would you say your biggest challenge during the college application process? Grace, I would like you to do first. Biggest challenge during the whole process?
Well, I guess like time management, because like my school was online during my junior year, so we got like the whole day to do homework and stuff. So like transitioning back to like in-person school where we like came home at like 5 and we only had the rest of the evening to do homework and college apps was I had to adjust to that. But then after I found a routine, it became a little easier. And after I like knew what I was writing about, it became like easier.
Elizabeth, biggest challenge?
For me, I decided to take AP Physics this year, which was not very smart, and it took up way too much of my time, so I didn't really have that much time for college apps. And also, I like didn't really know what I wanted to write about, so I had to like figure that out while I was writing, which like that should be something you plan before, if that makes sense. Like you should have an idea of what you want to write for each essay before you write it. You shouldn't just like go ahead and write.
That's very good advice. So let me say, so what would you say yourself in 4 years after you finish your college? What would you want to do after that? And in 10 years?
In 4 years, I think I'll do a master's. I'm not sure yet. As for like career-wise, I'm interested in health law, policy, and healthcare management. So yeah, maybe like some governmental thing or some administrative work.
Elizabeth?
I'm planning to go to law school, so yeah.
So after 10 years, what would you say yourself?
Like I want to be a lawyer. That's my major is sociology, and that's like the relationships in society because I'm interested in that, and that's gonna help me like learn more about law in like a societal perspective, and then I'll go to law school and then become a lawyer.
Wow, both of you sounds like could become a lawyer in the future. So we got 2 lawyers here. Okay, awesome. So we do have some questions from the audience here, and I just read aloud. So they ask you, how did you determine which scholarship to pursue, and what was the successful rate? About scholarship or financial aid. You don't have to share a lot of privacy or some what to say, like details. Just be general if you can help with this scholarship financial aid questions.
I would say do the FAFSA. Like you should definitely do the FAFSA, even if you're like pretty well off. You'll get money through that. And also, I think your school will have a lot of scholarship opportunities for you, and those are like easier for success rate wise.
How about you, Grace?
So I live in Texas, so the biggest like scholarship in my state was like the 40-acre scholarship that UT Austin has. So I applied to that. UPenn doesn't have any merit scholarships. None of the Ivies have any merit scholarships. So you just have to like fill out their financial aid forms, and they'll usually give you like what you need since like they're Ivy Leagues. I think like other scholarships that I applied to, I did some like regional scholarships that were like less competitive, so I had like a higher chance of getting them. I just like searched them up on Google and like tried to research and compiled like a spreadsheet kind of similar to my college list. So like I said, like a lot of the scholarships I ended up finding wasn't really school specific. It was more like I looked them up myself.
Okay, that's awesome. So we did hear there's a different sources for the scholarship and financial aid. So by the way, both of them are in our college planning program. So one of the things we help our staff help is to help them on the FAFSA and the CSS, those kind of financial forms. And we are a team together to help you answer those questions. That's awesome. So let's see next question. So were you able to use same admission essays for all your applications?
Yes and no. So I use like a lot of essays, like the same idea and topic for a lot of different prompts, but for each of them, I would have to reword it like a little bit to fit the prompt or like change the word count. So a lot of them, like sometimes I wrote like a 550 word essay and then I would have to change that to 250 words, which is like a huge difference. And but I still wanted to get the same message across, but I had to cut it down a lot, which is like harder than you think it is. So you will be able to reuse your essays, but it's not as easy as you would expect. Like you will still have to like change it. Like there'll be so many different versions of the same essay.
What's your experience, Grace?
Yeah, I agree. Like the word count is definitely the biggest issue. Like I wanted to reuse a lot of my essays. Like for example, almost every school has a why major essay where you have to talk about why you want to pursue the major you picked, or like a community essay, like how did you contribute to your community and how will you contribute to the school that like our school's community. So the biggest challenge was that all of these essays were different word counts. So I was like able to copy and paste like the concept, but I had to cut down a lot. But for like the why school essay, you cannot really reuse anything. Like you have to research in depth about each school and the programs they have to offer and really personalize your essays to like that particular school, which is probably what took the longest in the beginning.
That's one more question about the essay is how did you figure out what you wanted to write on your college essay? That's from a student, high school student. Like what to write on your essay. How did you decide on those things?
I think you just have to write what you're passionate on. And for like prompt specific ones, you need to like find a way for you to like tell your story through the prompt. And like it's so much easier to write something that you want to write about than to write something that like you think would sound good, but you're not as passionate about it. And it'll sound way better if you're passionate about it too. Like it will really carry through the essay.
Grace, what's your opinion on that?
So I wrote about something that would like show my like defining characteristic traits that I think are important for like colleges to know that they wouldn't be able to like really know or understand through just my like numbers, like through my SAT or whatever. So I tried to pick like a topic that would kind of exemplify my like characteristics and like my qualities. And also, I think someone in the chat said, I'm going to Penn, but I did early decision for UT. How did I reject UT? Well, I didn't do early decision for UT. I did early decision for UPenn, and I did priority deadline for UT. And the only thing about priority is that the due date is early and you get your decision early, but it's not binding. So it was an early decision.
That's very good. You answered that question too. So there's another question, how Beyond Academy help your college application? So I'll just cut this short because we have additional webinars to talk about this. We actually have a whole webinar on those things. And for Grace, we actually only help you on the financial applications, right? That's a part of the work we have done for you. For Elizabeth, she has been with us. Elizabeth is my daughter anyway. So we have been helped since kind of like a late freshman year from the high school on that. And let me see other question, because we do have other questions. So what has the actual curriculum you have done, actual curriculum and the clubs or community services you have done, how that help you with your college application?
So for me, my biggest extracurricular was band. And I did marching band and concert band for all 4 years of high school, and I got like many leadership positions. And I was able to like write a lot of essays about like leadership and band, which like helped on like the essay writing part. And then also you would put it down in like the extracurricular section. And then I also had like volunteering from like the ABLE nonprofit organization and like other clubs, which like I feel like extracurriculars is mostly like the most important part is to show colleges like what you're passionate about. And I think it's pretty like useful to like write about them if you have like good experiences to like show your characteristics through them to answer prompts. And also you have to put it in like the extracurricular section so that they know.
Grace?
Yeah, so the biggest extracurricular I did was debate, which took up like 5 years of my life. And it was like also my main like part on my award section too. So that was like perfect for me since my major, I wanted it to be a combination of like STEM and also policy social sciences. So I also did like student government, which matched up with my interest in like policy. And then for the STEM side, I did like a little bit of volunteer work with like kind of like tutoring. And then I also did like research over the summer. So that was a good mix of like the two things that I was interested in, but kind of like non like academic related. I also did like volunteering. I did a lot of like debate volunteering where we like coached like debate for like kids for camps and stuff. And then I did like more tutoring, like a lot of nonprofit work too with like a few different nonprofits. I was also like the co-president, co-founder of a club at my school. And then like completely non-academic related was I did art, which I think was a nice addition to my application because I was able to send a supplemental art portfolio to all my colleges, which showcased about 10 of my art pieces. And then that was also supplemented by like art awards that I received that I put on the awards section of my Common App. So all of that together was also like showing like a creative side of myself, which I thought was an important quality that I wanted to showcase for my application too.
Oh, that's really awesome to hear you have that art talent. So one more thing I thought both of you have interviews with colleges. How was that experience? Elizabeth, you want to go ahead? How many interviews you have received? How you prepare for those things?
I don't know exactly how many. I think like 5 or 6 interviews. And basically what happens is an alumni from the college will email you and they'll be like, oh, I want to have an interview. Like, when are you free? When are you available? And then you would like do a little back and forth, like trying to figure out a time for the interview. And interviews are usually a lot more like relaxed than you think it is. You don't need to like dress up or anything. You just like wear casual clothes. They want it to be pretty casual most of the time. And they'll just ask you like normal interview questions. Like some interviewers, they always start with like, tell me about yourself, which is probably the hardest question. So as long as you like figure out an answer to that, you'll be okay. And then, so usually interviewers will like ask you follow-up questions based on tell me about yourself, but then sometimes they'll like interrogate you a little bit with like a bunch of interview questions, like what's your greatest achievement, like a lot of questions like that. So it really depends on the interviewer, but just practice a lot of interview questions, I would say, and don't be stressed out.
Cool. How about you, Grace?
So like I said, since I was early decision, I had to cancel all my other applications. So I had to cancel all the other interviews, but I ended up doing 2 interviews, one for scholarship, one for UPenn. And for my UPenn interview, luckily I got a nice person, and it was like, pretty much the same as Elizabeth said. It's like pretty like informal. But one thing to note is that make sure that your answers are like not too long and like they're very like synthesized, because in the end, these interviewers will kind of do a write-up of you and like an evaluation of like how well you fit the school, and if like if they recommend to accept, and then they send it to the admissions officer. So it's like make sure that you're able to like kind of synthesize yourself to be like convincing and persuasive. And then another thing to note is that like interviews don't usually have that big of an impact on your application. Like unless you like do something really bad during it, it's not really gonna like make them reject you.
Okay, awesome. Let me think of some other questions we have. Oh, both of you have pretty clear ideas about what you want to do in the future. And when did you know that? Like which year in your high school or even in your middle schools? And how did you figure out what you want to do in the future? Grace? You have anything, Grace?
Well, I knew I was interested in like debate and like presenting and like persuading and like dealing with like policy kind of around 10th grade. And then like through different like debate topics that we did, I found my interest in like health policy. And I was also interested a lot in like lab research in like 10th grade. And I was considering pre-med, but I ended up leaning towards like more of the management side of health instead of the treatment side. So yeah.
Awesome. How about you, Elizabeth? How you decided to pursue your attorney career?
So basically, I feel like how you find things you're interested in is like through school and your extracurriculars, and that's kind of how I found what I was interested in, and it was around like 9th and 10th grade. And then I did a summer program on like law and trial, and that's like what really helped me solidify that I was interested in that and I should like pursue that as a career.
Okay, very cool. Another thing is we are having summer right now, and every summer is important. Can you kind of share a little bit what you have done in the summer and what kind of advice you want to give to younger students, what they should do in the summer?
Well, the summer of 9th grade, I participated in like 2 debate camps to build skill so that I can like do well and like get awards and get better. And then the summer of 10th grade, I participated in a very intensive debate camp, which lasted like I think 2 to 3 weeks. And then I also did like a like summer course at UC Berkeley. It was like an online course because of COVID, and like there wasn't too many things I could do over the summer. I had a lot of things planned, but I was not able to do them because like literally everything got canceled. I was going to do like a hospital internship and like other like volunteer stuff over the summer, but I wasn't able to. And then the summer of 11th grade, it was mainly like college apps. And also like throughout the summer, I also did like a lot of art to kind of prepare for the competitions that were happening like when school started. And summer of 11th grade, I also participated in a UPenn camp. It was virtual due to COVID, but it was like a biomedical camp. So it was like very interesting to like talk with like the faculty and like hear about like their research and stuff.
So what would be your advice for younger students for their summer plan?
I would say like try to like participate in like a summer program if like you're financially able. I think like the summer programs don't necessarily help you get into the school, but they provide like, well, first for you, they provide nice academic insight, especially if you're doing it in person to like see what you're actually interested in. But also it kind of helps for your college apps to like in your essays, you can talk about like over the summer of 10th grade, I participated in a blank and I realized I was interested in blank or something like that. You can talk about it like in your community essays. Um, and then also like over the summer, you can like get like summer internships for high schoolers or like summer research opportunities. There's also some research camps, but those are like pretty hard to get into. And then like if you're in an extracurricular over the summer is also a good time to like build skill. So for me, like I spent a lot of my summers building skill for debate and building skill for art and just like practicing and seeing like what competitions to participate in, especially for art, since there's a lot of like national competitions you can do and it's like easy to submit things.
Awesome. For Elizabeth, what's your plan for what do you have done for the summer, and what's your advice for your younger high school students there?
Yeah, so for summers, I just did like summer programs and like summer classes from colleges. You can like apply to those around like December, January, November sometimes. And you have to like make sure to apply or else like you can't do it, obviously. And there's also like research programs that you can do. And then I also did a lot of volunteer and nonprofit work over my summers, especially like the one summer we were quarantined. Um, and my advice would just be like do things that you can't do during the school year, like summer programs, research programs, like things that will help you with like your career interests that you can't really do during the school year because you don't have as much time.
Elizabeth, can you share a little bit of with others about your involvement in the ABLE program? It's a nonprofit organization we always work with.
Yeah, so I did ABLE starting in 10th grade, and basically ABLE is like a youth-run nonprofit organization where people can like come up with different projects to help different like parts of the community. Like we have projects on mental health, on helping third world countries, poverty, etc. And I contributed a lot with like starting my own project, helping other projects fundraise for like third world countries, and then that's like very useful for like getting leadership and also like getting an opportunity to like help communities on something you're interested in.
Okay, so for audience, if you have questions, you can send out your questions in the chat box now. We'll give just 1 more minute if you have any more questions, and then we will switch to another section for today. Okay, if I don't see any questions, we'll just do our next topic. Okay. So next, we want to, hold on 1 second, let me get that ready. So we want to give an award, give a scholarship to Grace. And let me share my screen here. Okay, so congratulations, Grace. And we want to present this certificate of $200 award to you, and in recognition of your achievement and at our Beyond Academy program. And we are happy to provide to you. We'll send a check to your house. And congratulations again. I want you to share a few words with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for the scholarship. Definitely will be needing it for like my college tuition and also just like for like random things like for my dorm and stuff. So thank you so much for that. And also thank you for helping us like for the past year with my financial aid documents and helping my mom like fill out all those and like send it to all my schools. So thank you.
Congratulations. I know your mom is there too. So Wendy, can you just turn on your video and unmute yourself? We want to hear from you. I'm really so happy for you. Congratulations again. Can you share a few words with us?
Sure. Hey, I would like to appreciate Dr. Sherry and her team to give us a lot of help and very nice suggestion, comments, and a lot of constructive suggestion. Well, Grace, especially she started to do the application as well as the financial aid application. So very, very good teacher, very good team, and very nice response and very, very quick response during the whole process. And I would like to thanks again, Dr. Sherry and her team. Gave Case a lot of opportunities and also a lot of suggestion. Help everybody to achieve their goal and provide a really good opportunity to everyone, no matter from the suggestion or the application standpoint, and also give a lot of the perspective support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wendy. Thanks, Grace. Congratulations again. And let's give a word to Elizabeth. So Elizabeth Tan, I would like to represent Beyond Academy to provide this certificate of $200 to you for your scholarship, and congratulations. Can you also share a few words with us?
Yeah, thank you for the scholarship. It's an honor to receive money for college because college is expensive.
What do you want to use the money for?
Like school supplies, textbooks.
Sounds great. Okay, we'll give a check to you too. And thanks again to Grace and Wendy. And you can leave now for the meeting, and we'll just thank you and best wishes to you. And for Elizabeth, can you stay a little bit, because we are going to talk about ABLE, how people can use this nonprofit organization to help students to get additional leadership training and community services. So I'll give the screen to you for this moment. So you want to tell the students how to start, what ABLE is, and how to start a program.
Okay, so I'm the previous ABLE president. There's a new president now because I am graduated, and I believe that is Braden. And so basically, ABLE is a youth-run nonprofit organization. We basically foster projects to improve society through acts of public service. And we also provide high schoolers with opportunities to help local and worldwide communities and gaining leadership experience. So we have a lot of ongoing projects, and you can create new projects. Some of our projects include like helping clean the oceans, helping poverty in Indonesia and India, helping countries in war, things like that. And you can start your own project on anything you're interested in. All you have to do is become a member and send your project proposal to the president, which you'll figure out when you become a member. And basically, if there's something you're interested in and you don't know how to pursue it, you can do it at ABLE.
Okay, so I'm showing you the website. There are projects over here, and there's more information. You can go ahead to take a look about beyondleadership.org. And we also have let me just say, what do I share? Have a Nichelle here. So Nichelle was a co-president for ABLE. So she also shared things about ABLE. Let me see if I can get to there. 6, 6:25. We just share a little bit of her talk. Or close the program. What's your plan for your program?
So my project is called Surpass, which is Science and Psychology for Academic Success. And as for the art aspect, we recently did a collaboration with another project called Art for Alls because we wanted to explore the intersection of like art and psychology. So first we did a presentation about the benefits of art on psychology, like how it's used as stress relief and creativity. And then we had the students do an art project that we hosted and taught. And then over the course of last summer, we had like, I believe, a 6-week program where we met every weekend. I think it was every Sunday. And then we taught like one different topic of psychology to our students. And about 3 teachers were assigned to each session. So they would like do research into that topic and then present about it to the students. And then we held a few sessions too, I think over Thanksgiving and afterwards, but not that many during the school year because a lot of us were pretty busy. And I'm hoping that for this summer we can start hosting sessions again. And I'm planning to pass on my project to one of the members that's an underclassman in Surpass right now. So probably like Angela.
So Michelle talk about one of the programs, the specific project she's running. It's called the Surpass. And after she finished, she'll pass to another member who's still in high school. So with that said, I want to tell everybody get the chance to be the president for your own nonprofit project. And there's a process to do it. If you are not clear, you can ask me and you can ask a current president. So Elizabeth, can you share who will be the next president?
Yeah, so I can share like the whole officer team.
Okay, I'll just stop my sharing.
Okay, so basically we just did elections for the upcoming year, and so all the officers are basically new. So the president is Braden, and then the vice president is Brian Wong, and then secretary is Emma Yao, treasurer is Beatrix. Yeah, those are like the main 4 positions, and we also have a website editor and outreach team.
Okay, so awesome. I really know everybody in your team. The organization is in good hands. One more question for you, Elizabeth. There's a student, Brian, asked about what program did you recommend during the summer from 10th grade to 11th grade?
If we're talking about like summer programs, so basically you can find a lot online. You can search up like different school, like a lot of like prestigious schools have like really good research or summer programs where you can like take classes as like a high schooler, or you can like do research programs. So just like search up a school and like summer program. Like if your dream school is like an Ivy League, you can be like Columbia summer program, and they definitely have a summer program because I applied to that. Yeah, and there's also a really good summer program called YYGS. It's like Yale Young Global Scholars. If you're interested, they have like a lot of different topics, and it's a little bit hard to get into, so that will look good on your college app. So it's called Yale Young Global Scholars.
Did you take one?
I did apply to that, but I didn't end up going.
Okay, so what was the time to apply for those programs? It's like a December, November, a year.
So I would search up the programs by like November. Usually their due date is in January or February, but sometimes it's earlier. So like November, December, like search it up and start applying. You just have to, it's really similar to college apps. You like put in your extracurriculars, write a couple of essays.
Yeah, so now the summer already started, right? So if they didn't get into any programs, and what they can do at the current moment for the plan for the summer?
Okay, if you're a junior, I would say just start on college apps. Like as a junior at this point, I would say you're mostly done with extracurriculars. Like if you want to add extracurriculars right now, it's not going to add that much because they know it's like really short time that you're just starting it. And so like start on college apps, and then if you're like a sophomore
Yeah, a
or,
year
like,
before junior. We'll go into junior year.
you can do like join ABLE, build some nonprofit like and leadership skills, and then or you can like do volunteering. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you, Elizabeth. And that's all our questions. And thanks everybody for attending. And before everybody go home, I want to let you know we have a very good summer program planned. And I want to share here with you. Like the whole summer, we have things going on. Okay. And for all the programs here, you will be able to explore different careers and also ask your questions and get a chance to talk to those, let me just share with you, those professionals. Okay, so this will be our summer program. So today is June 19th. You get a chance to talk to our graduates, right? Elizabeth and Grace. And next week, same time, 4 p.m., Sunday, California time, you get a chance to talk to a lawyer, Annie. She's pretty established, and she will share her career as a lawyer and also answer your questions about, like a career path and the pro and the cons, whatever you have about the law program. Next week, it's July 10th. It's a director from Amazon. He's an expert, like an international expert in cybersecurity. So there's a lot of things you can hear from him. In computer science from Apple Computer, not Apple Computer, sorry, it's an Apple company. And another one is from Google. So we have all the good programs. And on July 31st, we have a doctor from Kaiser. All those professionals are actually parents of the students in our program. And we really appreciate they are willing to spend their time to help out everybody to understand different career options, to share their wisdom with you. So with that said, we'll say goodbye to everybody. See you next week. Okay. Bye-bye. Have a good summer. Have a good summer. Bye-bye.